Hey, this is Peter again from the farm. Just coming to you with another message. If you didn't see my last video, we talked about why we will never use an mRNA vaccine on our livestock. And then in this video, I wanted to follow up on what we do in our production to avoid the use of vaccines, antibiotics, artificial hormones, or chemical dewormers. So I'm out here with the dairy cows, and they're enjoying a very nice warm day for spring. It's been quite a while since we've had upper 60s, but to get to the point, when we choose not to use chemical dewormers, it doesn't mean we're not doing anything. So on our farm, we practice a holistic approach to animal husbandry. And what we mean by holistic is that we don't believe what the conventional medical establishment does, or conventional livestock production methods. And basically they would believe that disease is an enemy that comes from the outside. So you have to sterilize and sanitize and keep all of the enemy away so that your animals are healthy. Instead, we believe that disease is caused from a deficiency and an imbalance in the nutrients and the minerals that constitute the animal's immune system. So on our farm, we choose to prioritize nourishment and minerals by providing pasture, number one. So pasture is an important part, basically respecting the design, how the animal is created to thrive. So by giving a cow pasture, it is able to select different forage. One of the things that is important on our farm is the diversity. So if a cow goes out to graze and she has grass and she has brush, maybe she has wildflowers and trees, depending on where they're deficient, the cow can actually self-medicate to find nutrients from these different sources that will help to give them what they need. Because if you remember again, it's not a disease from the outside that causes them to get sick. It's more so an imbalance and a deficiency inside. So one example of that is our copper. So a black animal, some of these cows are darker. If we go back to the beef cows, they have a black coat. And when a cow has deficiency in copper, her coat will turn reddish brown and shaggy and rough. And that's a sign that they have parasites. But in an animal that has a healthy level of copper, parasites cannot thrive. So rather than providing chemical dewormers, we can provide adequate levels of copper, which will help the animal regain balance and not have parasites. So in parasites, we would use copper. In a situation where our animal, like a dairy cow, may get mastitis, we use garlic tincture. And garlic tincture is a natural antibiotic, so it goes to the immune system and it helps the body fight off an infection. In the case of chicks, most chicks are vaccinated at the hatchery, and we choose not to do that option. Instead, when they arrive on our farm, we give them raw milk. So on days 4 and 7 of their life, when they've arrived on the farm, we provide, I'm just holding a cat here, we provide raw milk, which acts as a probiotic to fight coccidiosis, which is the most common poultry parasite. So that's another example of how a natural alternative can be used when you think more of more holistically in how to bolster and increase the mineral levels of an animal rather than vaccinating or just keeping disease away by a medical intervention. So then another example would be we use apple cider vinegar prior to calving, and that can help with calving ease. It also helps to manage the pH level for cows, for any ruminant, which is important to preventing foodborne pathogens as well as just an overall healthier body of the animal. So it just goes back to show that you don't have to have vaccines or antibiotics or chemical hormones to have a healthy herd. And that's what our farm stands for. So when you're sourcing food from a farm like ours, we want you to know exactly how it's raised. And that's why we're here, is to educate and to deliver healing foods.